Jake, let's talk about your 1992 a little more. We talked about how you first came in the WCW, you met with Kip Fry, and then, of course, the Bill Watts thing happened. They program you with Sting. You work in main events nearly every night. And then somewhere around September, you have a match with Van Hammer. I think you suffer a concussion. You wound up missing some shows. What do you remember about that little piece of business there with you and Van Hammer and then your injury?
Well, it wasn't so much an injury as it was me making a move. Uh, Watts had really screwed me over on the contract, and then he turned around and did the thing where the snake was banned, and I was no longer Jake the Snake. I was just Jake Roberts. So I was very, very angry. One of the things that Bill Watts did at the time was you sign a contract, and for 90 days they would hold half your money. Hmm. You know, you would wrestle for 90 days, and on that 91st day, you would get the rest of your money from your first day, which is total,
Yeah.
you know. And what he would do is, if you didn't do exactly as he wanted, or if he just wanted to fine you, he would fine you part of the money they were holding, which is theft.
Yeah.
Come on. And after he had pulled that, I did a thing with Van Hammer, and then I disappeared for a few days, and I checked myself into a rehab.
Yeah, based on my timeline, it looks like the Van Hammer thing happened in September. Then there was the Halloween Havoc thing. Then the snake is banned.
After that, yeah,
Yeah. So
yep, yep.
November 10th, 92, I think is what I see that. And you went to Betty Ford, is that right?
No, no, no. I went to Ridgeview here in
Okay.
Atlanta. Yeah,
Were you
sweet.
was that all just a way to sort of get rid of the contract and
It
the
was a way to get the rest of the money out of my contract.
that's a
Bill Watts fined me all the money owed for my 90 days, which to me is just unbelievable if they can do that. So I wound up having to sue Turner, and that was a big mistake because that kept me from ever going back to Turner again. The whole problem was Watts, but hindsight's 2020, man, and you know, sometimes when you're drinking and drugging, you don't have your faculties right, and sometimes you get an asshole put in a situation, and you're not going to get a fair deal anyway. So I'm not pissing and moaning about anything, man. What's done is done, and the bottom line for me was I put asses in seats,
yep.
and when I got in the ring, I did the job. I took care of business. I always performed at a high level. Percent. Vince McMahon once said, Jake, the problem with you is we don't know when you're high. And my reply was, well, maybe I've never been straight, and which he didn't find funny. But I'm not proud of the fact that I was able to perform because it's not fair to my opponent, for me
Right.
to be not having all my faculties going. And I'm very fortunate I never hurt anybody that I didn't want to hurt. There's a couple people that had to be hurt, but they pulled it out of me, you know. And I'm not proud of those moments either. But my time in WCW was not good.
And as the story goes, you go into a treatment on the 10th, and on the 11th, there's a taping at Center Stage, and Bill Watts comes out and announces that you are now no longer a part of WCW, and that's
Right.
the end of the run. And I think we as fans, just like you mentioned last week here on the show, Jake, we get pulled in by, okay, that's part of the show, and okay, that was in the script, and well, that was a cool move, but now that's real.
Yeah.
And sometimes what we gravitate to the most is that suspension of disbelief. And you had that down pat. And we're talking about how real life and sort of wrestling storylines all melded together. But
Yeah.
there's a television show that does that these days, right, Dallas?
Yeah, man. I'm really kind of surprised that no one's really talked about this yet. I feel like it's been left up for me and Jake to talk about. Um, and that's one of the things in coming shows we want to talk about. We want to talk about that show called Heels. And it's on that show Stars. None of those guys have talked to me and asked me to do this. No one's actually put it out there, from their camp, because I heard they got picked up for a second season,
That's right.
which is real, it shows that there's a serious interest in the show from the company, because from what I understand, they didn't draw that much. They didn't draw the viewership that they were looking for. And
Well, maybe they promoted it.
well, I saw it here and there because I know some behind the scenes story on it. Stephen Amell is the star of the show. And that's a guy that, like, I was at all in for Cody, because Cody's my boy, and while I was upstairs in one of the suites, I'm watching this match that Stephen Amell's in, but I don't know it's Stephen Amell. But I'm thinking, that guy's new. Who the hell is he? Man, he's pretty good. Like, he really gets professional wrestling. And then I came down and Cody told me who it was. I was like, I got to talk to her. He just did a hell of a job. I mean, especially being, he's one of the boys now, obviously. But in the beginning, he was just some green cat who loved wrestling, who's a, top actor with his show, The Arrow. So Jake and I have watched the first couple episodes, and we're just going to talk about them as part of the podcast as we move through other stuff that we've got set up too. But I want people to
Give it a shot.
yeah, give it. We're going to be talking about it, and we're not talking to each other about it yet. We're going to talk about it live here on DDP Snake Pit, and give our honest shoot views on from storyline to characters. It's just another segment. I was really interested when I heard that it got picked up for a second season.
Yeah.
Because what I've seen so far, I think it needs to be talked about. And like,
Yeah, absolutely.
how do we feel about it as two guys who did a little bit in our career? How do we feel how we're being portrayed on a show? I think you'll find it really interesting.
We're going to find something.
Yeah, it's not a feel good thing. It's interesting. It really is.
And we hope you guys were interested in what we did this week on DDP Snake Pit. Episode 2 in the can now, Jake. What are you thinking? You having fun so far with your podcast experience?
I can't wait till I start talking. No, man, I tell you, I've been wanting to do one of these for a long time, but I didn't want to do it. Of course, I've been on probably 100 podcasts, but I feel like I've got such a story to tell, man, and a story that will help people that are suffering from alcoholism and drug addiction, or somebody that's been through down the same road as I have. And then I'm hoping to get bits and pieces out there, but this is for wrestling fans, it's for wrestling fans too. And wrestling fans are the best fans on the planet, by far. I mean, nobody's even close. And I'm doing it for them and for me, because I get to remember some stuff.
Which you got really good at too. Your memories.
I'm getting better.
I mean, so much. When the crazy part was, after 2 years of him being sober, we started having real conversations again. And then about 3 years ago, which would have been 5 years of Jake on his sober run, the fog had cleared so much that I would say, like, I don't know this Jake. Like, this is a different Jake Roberts who loves himself. Like we did, like we would just bring people up to date on different interviews that we would do to say, what's Jake up till now? And I remember you saying that you fell in love with somebody.
Yeah. And that didn't work either.
No, but yourself.
Yeah.
I said you fell in love with yourself. And
I did. I appreciate myself now, and I don't beat myself up anymore, man. I've already taken that and claimed it. Okay, that's mine, but it's also put away in a box, man. I don't need to revisit that stuff anymore, man. I don't need to punish myself anymore. What I need to do is get my butt out here and help other people that are in that same situation. Because I'll tell you something, I've done just about every drug you can do except for heroin. I don't know how I missed it, but
Thank God.
it wasn't on purpose. Um, I've been high in just about every way you can think of. But the greatest high I've ever had, and I want you people at home to try this, help somebody. Truly help somebody like he helped me and like I'm wanting to help you. Help somebody get back on the right track. Help somebody save their family. Help somebody save their life. God, man, what a rush. I mean, I get letters from 8-year-old kids that are thanking me for helping their daddy because now daddy's moved back home and daddy don't drink anymore. Mom and daddy don't fight anymore. You know how good that feels, Ron?
Mm.
Measure it. No measure it. And I just want to thank all those people out there that have watched the film and that have walked away with something out of it. That's what it was made for.
One thing you say it in Resurrection, you say, it don't have to be like this.
Oh,
That's powerful.
no.
You know, it don't have to be. And once you make that decision, well, then,
One
There's-
step at a time, brother. I mean, I know it's said time and time again. People get tired of hearing it, but it's the truth, man. One step at a time, 1 second at a time sometimes, man. But I'm still fighting those damn cigarettes. Shame on you, American Tobacco Company, for poisoning every damn one of us, man. It's bullshit that the U.S. government allows a company to destroy America.
Well, by now, boys and girls, you can tell this is not your average wrestling podcast. We're having a lot of fun. Hope you guys are too. Hit the subscribe button, hit us on social, and we'll be back next week with another pretty powerful episode from DDP Snake Pit.
Turn me on.
see ya.